So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live show Thursday. I'm playing with my Prisma watercolour pencils. I found a set on eBay and I'm working in Hanna Karlzons' Daydreams. And I'm one-handed because I'm having a snuggle with the new boy who's just woken up. He's having a snuggle with his mummy. So, whoopsie. So everything's one-handed, so that's going to be interesting. There is a crimson red there, but I think I fancied this one. So I've zoomed in, and this time I'm actually going to scratch this particular book. I haven't filled out everything, so I'm... Oh, I will do. I'll have a look. Apologies, I'm squinting and trying to read chat at the same time. So this one is Carmine Red, and I don't think I've ever coloured live or recorded while playing with a kitten. I'm going to put a little bit of colour in here, and then I'm going to manipulate it with my damp. Oh, that was a big sigh. So our little new boy is a bit snotty. He didn't react very well. Just going to move that across. He didn't react. He's been a snotty boy since he's had his first inoculations. So I think he's about 9 weeks old, and his brothers are all short-haired, black and white, and he's a long-haired, all black little man. And he's so asthmatic. We make a good pair, don't we, darling? And all he wanted to do was to sit on my knee every Wednesday when I went to the RSPCA to play with the kittens to get them used to people. And I just had to tear myself away every time, thinking, no, he'll go to a better home. And nobody wanted him, so he's mine. He came mine yesterday. And he's gone to sleep on my knee under my onesie. I have a onesie. I couldn't find my blanket, so hubby brought the onesie for my knee. So he's made a little nest. And he's been asleep all day, but he's only a tiny baby, so... Bungle has been taken over, although he's mine. Samantha has... He lives in Samantha's room with Betsy Doodles, and Betsy Doodles let him on the bed last night, so she kind of looked at him to say, oh, what on earth is that? Because he was running around the bedroom like a mad thing, and we loved him because he was quiet. This monster appeared. But when you stroke him, he just sits and purrs. So he's going to be the mascot, because Betsy doesn't want to do that. It's too stressful. I think I like these to be yellow. So it's a bit of a madhouse. Spanish orange. Oh, I did that before because it looks like it's yellow. I think I might do Spanish orange in this one here. So there's a lot of snorkeling and snoring going on, and it's not me, it's baby Bungle, the little kitten. As I say, he's none of it is, and he's been playing with his brothers and sisters, and I kept thinking, oh, they're all going to get it. But we think he just had a reaction to his inoculation, so they're going for their second jab, and he's not till next week. Oops, sorry, I was out of shot. So I'm very, very happy. It's always good to look at things you can do instead of things you can't. And my daughter's been looking after the RSPCA for quite a while. And she goes and cleans the pens and plays with the kittens. And I was thinking, well, I can't do anything, I'm completely useless. And then I found a job playing with kittens and stroking poorly cats that don't want to live anymore. They kind of give up. And I just get them used to humanized so that they can have a happy home. And everybody will fall in love with them. So I've become a kitten whisperer. Which is perfect for me because I can't really get about. So you should never think that you can't do anything. So over here I've got this very pale light, it's a light peach, but the pink is a pinky peach, so that might look quite nice. And I'm just on automatic pilot, so I'll fill these in and then I'll get my little brush out and have a play. So apologies, I can't see chat for the minute. I'm going to put a little bit of this pink, and these are very, very nice pencils. They just kind of melt. Now one-handed, I need to find my baby wipe. I've lost my hand now. I'll have to use my cardigan. It's a good job it's an art cardigan. So a very clean brush, a bit of a swizzle, so they mix beautifully. I've lost my highlight, but I'm having a bit of a play. So if I just push the dark up to the dots, and again it's only watercolour, so it'll come out the cardigan, it's fine. It's more important that I don't disturb the kitten while he's asleep. So I can push that about, and poor Alfie, bless him, because I've been away, he's decided that he's not as needy as he was going to be. He was last night, he wouldn't leave me alone last night, but then he slept downstairs and he's been a good boy, so I'm quite pleased he's lost that kind of neediness that, we had to take him absolutely everywhere. So that's better. He's got a bit better. Betsy's got better. She's still a bit of a grumpy pants if she's in that mood. Do like these paints. So now we've got, what did I put with this one? I think I'm going to put the cream on this one. There's a blush pink. So that was the orange. I think I might just put this kind of really pale colour on here. Oh, there is a very slight difference. You can see there is a difference between the cream, the white paper, and I don't know who that is in the other room, but it's a canine. It's not a feline. So a little bit of colour. just need a little bit of water just to activate that. And the Hanna Karlzons paper will just take that little bit of a damp brush without any hesitation. It really is a lovely brush to work, a lovely paper to work with. And then we can tease all that colour out. There's something quite comforting about having a little person on your knee. And because I had my children late in life, I don't think I'll have any grandchildren. I keep saying I don't want any yet. I'd like them all to be. It's very, very nice. Now there is a little bit of colour, and I will show you my sleeve. I've moved now. I've got the tiniest little bit there that I've just wiped on my sleeve. But didn't want to disturb the boy though. So, oh, he's such a little delight, bless him. So I need some cardboard because I did rescue a very large box that was being demolished at the Abbey. And all these kittens absolutely adore playing in it and sleeping in it and doing all sorts. So I need to make a nice habitat for them to have a play. So I quite like what's happening with that. So if you've got any questions, I'll put my glasses on and I can see what's going on. So they're really nice. I'm not finding any difference between not finding any difference at all. Between these and Inktense, and oopsie, look at the little man. He's fast asleep on my knee. He's fast asleep on my knee. He just likes to snuggle, bless him. I've got another one here. I'm tempted, but I think it's a bit different. Oh, I found an orange, didn't I? Again, I'm not used to all these colours yet, but there's only 36, so I'm sure I'll get there eventually. And there was the light peach. I think I'm going to go for orange here. Oops. want it a bit darker. This one is poppy red. Now, if you were ever doing this on yourself, you would hold this away from your work because you could splash, but just a touch. If you wanted to get just a few darker shades in there, of which I think I'm going to do this one a darker one too. So we've got, oops, now the Sooty's coming downstairs. Sooty was the original black cat. Toffee will be outside somewhere, and Betsy's on the bed, oopsie, and the little boy is asleep. And he's not even woken up. Look, he's fast asleep. Bless him. Oopsie. And of course the Alf is doing what the Alf does best. So I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to put colour in the bottom, and then, because this is an experiment, so, oh, Alfie's not done that again. Oh, Alfie, when you think he's been a good boy. So again, a bit of colour on the end, and instead of scratching it in, I'm doing this. So this is very similar to how I do watercolouring from my little book of watercolours. I will just pick up a little bit of colour, and then the brush activates all that, and it makes it into a watercolour effect eventually. See if we can get rid of this line. Yes, reactivated it back into a watercolour and then took that, and so I don't have a nasty line. So that's really clever. That's really nice, because the worst thing is getting a nasty line in there. So again, it'll come out a bit. And you can get rid of, so they are really, really gorgeous, nice colours. I think that is another petal. I don't think. And again, we can put a bit of dark next to that light, and then quite light up there. So these are really nice. Again, it says they were professional, so they're very well pigmented. Oopsie, just woken the baby up. We have another one here, which again is a completely different colour, so I think we'll have red middle now. Oops. Again, I'm going to have to go one-handed because I've been summoned. It's the tiniest amount of colour, so it's nothing to worry about. So you can either scratch a little bit of colour in, or just get a little bit of colour, and there is very little colour on there. There's a little bit touch of yellow, and manipulate that out. A bit of colour and manipulate that out. A bit of colour, manipulate that out. Very soft, beautiful soft watercolour. Sorry, I've got a snorer. Very, very soft, almost like near colours. They just melt. and the Derwents too, so quite nice. Go back over that one for a highlight and go back over that one, and then the darker. So remember, the darker this is, the lighter that's going to look. So you can work quite a few different ways with water-based mediums, either a pencil or a crayon. You can work directly from the crayon, you can scratch a bit of colour and use a paper palette, you can scratch it directly onto the page. This is just a damp brush, so this is completely flat. And it's completely very quickly dried, so it's a really nice way to work. I think that is a flower petal. I think this one could be the pink one, even though it's on the same stem. So I'm not actually going to even be bothered to take that yellow off. Let's just start at the bottom. Work up. Start at the bottom, and then when you get back, you know that's going to go very pale. When I go back this time, that is going to be so pale. It's going to be a really nice highlight. And then again back under there, a bit stronger. And the amount of paint I am actually using, or pencil, is so tiny. That one. And then finally that highlight there, really nice. That if you want to go darker, you can build up some nice shades under there. Real nice. I mean, and you can keep going and making it darker, or you can do however you want. And then that's going to be a pale. These are very, very strong, these, but you can really get that mix if you want to. You don't have to have any lines, any pencil lines at all. I think we could have a blue and turquoise. The blues on the bug. I think I'm going to just put a little bit of colour. Just think that might look quite nice. And we could experiment, seeing as it's this particular colour book, which is still nice, but how about trying Missed one. Yes, he's not a good. He's. Oh, hi, Trisha Cat. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Everybody else still popping in. Hope everybody's okay. Yeah, he had gungy eyes, and then it went to his nose. So I do have a bit of red on there, so you can just kind of do that, or you can do that. It depends how precious your cardigans are. I think this particular one's got a hole in it, but it's a comfy one. So that just spreads like butter, and then when it gets very pale, I can go down there and mix that together. I think he wants a hug. I think he wants a hug. I don't think he wants me to be. I know, I've got you then. There we go. So, like that a lot. Gorgeous colour. Getting used to how pale these can go. And then mixing a little bit of that back up. And seeing that purple change. It's quite nice. You do have to clean your brush after every time, because get that really dark rich colour and then really manipulate that down to nothing. Oops, and I left the purple out. The purple at the bottom. So I now know that as a watercolour effect for watercolouring, it's pretty spectacular. That's a really nice effect, and I've not done that before. Not with these pencils. I've done it with Neos, I think. So there's a seamless blend. You do have to wipe the brush every time, because if you end up with too much purple on when you first touch that green, it will never blend. So you want rid of that purple. So you've got beautiful green that will go to the palest green. And then you can activate the purple, because the purple is going to be stronger. And then just take that into there carefully. Just once, you don't normally get too many times. So, oops. This is going to be quite dark. Does give a little bit of a transparency kind of feel, that it is paper thin, this wing. And I don't normally do that with wings. I normally get an effect that's kind of full on and thick, strong canvas wings. These are almost paper thin. Right, enjoying this. Really nice colours, compared to the fact, or considering the fact I didn't know what they would do. That's a really nice soft wing. Just this little one to do. Oh, I really like that, and I didn't expect those two colours to kind of melt into almost a paper thin wing. So that means I can go to another colour page in Magical Dawn, and I can scratch two colours that I know are going to work really well together. So we've got violet, and to the outside. I think that'll do. That's fine in there. Yep, I think that's fine. And then a little bit of green. So again, I like the fact that, you know, even if you're somewhere where it's maybe a little bit bouncy in the car, you can still just about scratch colour in here, and you're going to get some really nice effects when you add the watercolour brush. So now I might I might try a pink with a yellow. But you've got to work back while it's wet. If it dries, and remember this is an ordinary paper, just a bit thick. It's not. It's like working wet in wet, but technically you're not, because it's a very, very small amount of water. This is the colour book page, but because the way these pencils react, and the well pigmented watercolours do tend to lend themselves to some really nice effects. But as I say, I've not done this before. Now if you leave too much green, your purple will be dull before you can move it. So you do have to think a little bit ahead. But you can take this to almost nothing, so that's quite nice. So I shall just finish this wing. Oops, tried the wrong side then. And then I may have to put tea on for my little girl. My last little girl at home, who's feeling a bit betrayed because she was on her own all day last week. Every day last week she was on her own, so she was, and I was poorly, so I wanted to be home and she wanted me home. And I couldn't get, because there was engineering works, so it would mean I would have to get on 3 buses with a wheelchair after I got off the ferry onto 3 trains, and it was just not going to be possible. And she rang me up to say that she was ill, as 2 of the front wheels were on the ferry boat on the ramp, and 2 of them were back on dry land. And we could not even get out the way of the lorries or any other cars. We had to get on the ferry. Really like those colours. Oh, welcome back, Jane. Yeah, still here. I'm going to give up in a little bit. Yes, they are, Suzanne, and I've never done this before. It's gorgeous. Yep, I think maybe I used a little bit too much water. You couldn't do that on the Bennett Kleins or the thinner ones, but on this Hanna Karlzons there was a really nice effect, and absolutely nothing on the back of it at all. But again, you're using a damp a damp one, it likes a watercolour effect, so I do love this. I like this flower as well, and I love that's why I invented watercolouring. It's using a tablespoon or just a very damp brush. Either you dry this one, and it's not that wet, my sleeve is not that wet, and you don't waste any colour. The only time I had to waste colour was when I wanted to swap. Barely damp brush or a damp rigger, and you manipulate the colour. Oh, my little man. You're just being a doll, aren't you? Oh, he's just a doll. Look, my little baby. I have a new baby now. You've just been a little doll. He doesn't want me. He doesn't want me to move my arm, so he's got his claws out. I know. Alright, but I'll hold you with this one then. Shall I hold you with this one? He does normally go to sleep in your arms like a baby, don't you? Yeah, he's going back to sleep. My daughter will be home in about an hour, so I'll trog on a little bit and see what we can get with these. Now I like that olive green. The others are a little bit kind of fakeish, but remember we can put a little bit of I like the olive green. So again, as before, I've done lots of this. Oops, wrong way. I've done lots of these in this book, whether it's near colour 2s or whether it's I think I used in the other Hanna Karlzon, I used Inktense blocks, and they came out really nice. So you had extreme vibrancy in the bottom, which went to almost nothing, and it looked like a fantastic watercolour, and yet it was just a bit of colour scratched. Oh, Suzanne, it's a shame you're not here. You could have his brothers. There's two. There's two brothers. Let me see where they are. They don't look like him though. It's very strange. Two brothers. And they play all day together. They're his brothers. They don't look at all short-haired, black and white, all got white socks, and they don't look anything like they were asleep in his hammock. They don't look anything like our baby Bungle, and the little girl looked like that as well. But aren't they so adorable? Snuggling, and then they started to play fight. It was quite funny. And then I had one on my knee, upside down on my knee. He was quite cute, and he did a very strange thing. Then there's the little poor baby who, oops, I was stroking him with one hand, and he was so bald I bought him a little Christmas jumper. He's had to be shaved completely, so his head's got hair but his body is not, and he's a bit thin. You would not believe this cat. Look at his feet. He's just stuck his feet out. He's as snug as a bug in a little rug. He's just stuck his feet out. Hi, Bungle. Hello, darling. What a little doll. So the boys are gorgeous. But if anybody's disabled and they think they can't do anything, volunteer to play with kittens. You don't always get in somebody's house unless, but you can sit in the pen, and as long as you're well wrapped up, you can stroke kittens and make them believe in humans again, and it's really, it's very good for stress, and it's a very worthwhile cause, because somebody will come along, and when you've made them better, somebody will want to adopt them. Unless you get there first. So these colours are melting into nothing. They're really nice. You're getting bored now, aren't you? So again, really soft, gorgeous watercolours. You playing with my glasses? He's waking up now. It's waking up time. Oh no, he's officially mine, Suzanne. He's my new fur baby. He's my new fur baby. He was shaved because he was picked up and he was matted, completely matted. And there was another cat that they thought had have to be shaved, and we said, oh, we'd go find some Christmas jumpers that we bought the bunny rabbit a long time ago, and for a couple of pounds we found these little dog. It's for a toy dog Christmas jumper, but actually he's a big cat, but he's just all skeleton. So the vet did the blood tests, and if the cat's okay, there was nothing wrong with him. He was just completely matted, and he was thin. So all the blood tests came back that he would be... Do you think you're going to do that with my glasses, do you, Mr. Baby? Oh gosh, this kitten's just melting me. So this cat had to be shaved, but when the blood test came back, his liver was fine, his heart was fine, everything was fine. So you can't put him down just because he's matted. So they put him under and they took all his fur off apart from his head. And so I said, oh, I've got a little jumper, and he was very but he did sit up and he ate lots of food. I fed him twice. And again, I couldn't do anything yesterday. I was really poorly, but I could just sit and stroke his head very gently. That's about as much as I could muster yesterday. Uh-oh, the boy's woken up. Hello, Trouble. Hello, Trouble. Trouble. He has been asleep all morning. Yeah, you're going to sit there, are you, Bungle? You're going to sit there, are you? What are you going to do? I think because he's really snotty, he's not cleaning himself. I'm not sure we want to see you in that, sitting on there, do we? Now, I know you want to be there, but I don't want you to be there. I want you to be there. Hello, Trouble. Oh, we've got Trouble now. He's awake. This is the Bungle, the cute boy. Yes, I know. I finished that leaf. So I'll pan out and you can see, and then we'll have to finish the video because the boy's woken up. He does love his basket. Thank you. So, oops, I've gone out too much. So that's where we are. Oh, Trouble now. Yes, I know. So we've got our little wings and we've got some grass. So again, very quick, easy way to work. Really like... Oh, thank you. I knew you were going to do that, Bungle. I knew you were going to do that because you just licked yourself, haven't you? Thank you. Did that land all over my... Yes, it did. Delightful. Delightful fur baby. Thank you. You can just go in there a minute. Oh, I forgot. I put 2 pieces of paper in there. Oh, he's sitting on it. It's a piece of paper. Thank you. So I quite like that. Nice colours, like the wings, doing things that I'd not done before. It's now going to be trouble time. There's trouble. Is there trouble? What's this? What's this? What's this? Psst, psst, psst. So thank you for watching, and that's the end of my Prisma watercolours in the Hanna Karlzon Daydream. Thanks for watching.